don't see. What's yours for the taking tonight? Ooh, show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How expensive do I have to be? You mean I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.
Y'all, I love the Lord. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm sorry about the condition of my weave today, but I'm here. We're here. I'm out of breath, but I'm still here. Let me tell you, I used to say this all the time, you guys. When you wake up, this is how I put it then. I don't even have to set it up today because I'm living it. Look at me. I got on the wrong robe. This ain't even mine. We have matching ones. This is Brian's robe. So he don't like the belts. I do. Because I'm all for an adequate, age-appropriate plunging neckline. But this is ridiculous. Okay? I like it right about here. But this robe don't have a belt. I got a shoestring on. Anyway. Ooh. I'm going to make a belt out of this do-rag. See what I'm saying? What I'm saying is some days, if life gives you lemonade, you're going to say, where'd you get these lemons? Or if you say it backwards like I just did, life gives you lemons, so you make lemonade. It works in both directions. My point is this. We never know what we're going to wake up to. And that's real talk. There's the bell of purpose before we get to the real talk. And we apologize. But you know what, again? Divine timing is divine timing. Things happen as they are ordered. That don't mean we can just lay back and just not do our part. Shaquille. Oh, I ain't saying no names. One more time. Shaquille. I'm just playing. Okay, so it still goes that way. When you wake up, say for instance, you have your beautiful white dress or your crisply starched, straight from the cleaner, white dress shirt, and then you do this. Oops, you spill a little coffee on it. Then you go grab your phone, and you realize the cat or the dog or one of the kids unplugged it, and it never did charge. You have 2%. Oh, Chuck. Coffee Cup Chuck is here. And he was just telling me on the phone, you sent the link to my phone. It's about to die. It's one of them days, right? But this is where we stop. And we go, wait a minute. What could be so powerful? What could be so wonderful? What could be so divinely appointed within my path today that somewhere up ahead, those negative forces that think they're tripping me up literally right now. I mean, look at this weave, right? Tina Turner's wig didn't even look this bad, right? But something is in front of you that negative forces don't want you to get you. So you go, aha, I see what's happening here today. And then you go, well, it must be something wonderful within it, or you wouldn't be so trying so hard to keep me from it. That's what I want you to remember about days like today. We never know what we're going to wake up to. There are times we don't even know if we're going to wake up. Every time we lay down, we don't know. So like Les Brown, hey, Les, what's he say? If you stay ready, you'll never have to get ready. Can I get an amen? Okay, Chuck, I was waiting on you. I see you in the green room. You show better. You know, listen, you guys, it's bathroom moments time. It's a Friday. Dr. Lauren, I'm here. Cleaning girls are upstairs. They weren't supposed to be here yet. You know who I sound like right now? Remember in Living Color? When she was like up there and hi, is that little Carisha? Show is growing like a weed. Little crackhead in the making. Remember that? But I ain't one to talk. I feel like her. Now it made me laugh. Count it all joy. We're gonna talk about joy today. If you saw, I heard him did the link, right? Because we're sitting up here, I'm thinking I get to sleep in, all kinds of stuff. Nope. And when I was typing, it said, Coffee Cup Chuck is in he house. I left the tea. I was going to go back and I said, where he at? He downstairs. Count it all joy. Listen, there are no mistakes, y'all. When you see a T missing and it say he in he house, That's just the creation, keeping our shit interesting. That's how I look at it. Because it gave us something to what, Bonnie Raitt? Talk about. And we're going to talk today. The topic today said, tough situations sometimes warrant tough conversations. And today is one of those days, but it still has to be said. And as I said, a lot of things tried to keep us from coming here today. So that means all of you that watch it now or watch it in the replay, get this out there. You could be saving someone's life. Literally. Because today, y'all saved somebody named Shaquille. Oops. The last time I talk about it. I swear, the last time. I sound like my granny. That pineapple so is good. What he name is. That was another one of hers. Thank you, Granny. Listen, we're going to be back. Coffee Cup Chuck Doyle is in the house. And we had a lot of fun right now. And you know what? One more thing. I didn't go to bed till 5 o'clock this morning, right? I was up working. And before I went to bed, I said, you know what? I need to hear some Tremaine Hawkins. And she tore it up, right? Now I know why. The Lord knows when you need him, even before you do. Listen, when we return, we've got Coffee Cup Chuck in the house. And yeah. See, somebody took me out. That's them tricky monkeys. They don't want us to talk about this, but we're going to. Coffee Cup Chuck and his family. Chuck lost his only son, 30 years old, to suicide. I bet it feels like 5 minutes ago to him. And it probably will for the rest of his life. We're going to talk about that and all the things that happened. But we're also going to find the love and the blessing that is inside of every moment we live. We're going to be back with a great show. Don't you guys go away. We'll be right back.
The power of we was a way of inclusion, a way of inviting anyone who needed or wanted a place to belong.
It was just very clear to me that this was something that would really benefit the young folks right here.
And to be able to give them a different perspective, that I know where they come from, I know what they're experiencing because I was there too, and letting them know that there's different actions that they could take that'll lead to a different destiny.
We really needed to hear that. In order to change our community, we needed to hear that.
And they are inspired to invest in making it happen. That's powerful.
All of our stories begin with either in the beginning or once upon a time. And for me, my story began pretty much, and this is how it was referred to for quite a while, a backdoor deal. I could be living in a different neighborhood, in a different school, with different kids in the same bedroom from day to day. And so it began to feel like I was moving through a maze. I was always the kind of kid who would talk to my imaginary friends, they would talk back, and I know now that it was a great thing because it was carving out a place for me to dream. A lot of us will say, well, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then down the road, we've gained it. Why? Because want comes like a wish list, but need comes with a plan. When you feel that power, that is your story, and you see how many paths it can light, trust me, there's nothing in the world that will make you say it wasn't worth it.
I was in here speaking in tongues, y'all. Well, not really, but I did say Hasababaka. If I could speak in tongues, that's what I said, because it's true. Who said about 100? People used to do that. You know, you better quit playing. See, I got the bell to get me off the hook. No, I'm just playing, but kind of. Listen, Coffee Cup, let's get you in here. Now, you guys, I'm just saying this. That wasn't it, but it came up. I don't know if I could do what Chuck's about to do. I'm just grateful that I don't have to find out if I can or not today or any day. See? So right there. You guys, I'm gonna no fanfare. We wasted enough time. Chuck,
What's good, brother? What's good? Man, here we are again, right?
a lot has changed.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the song Tremaine Hawkins was singing this morning. A change has come over me. Yes. And I was down here in the studio, didn't even know. A couple hours later, I looked like I was near the wino, like I was drinking some Ripple. Do they still remember that's what they was? What is Ripple?
That Ripple, that strong stuff. That's that high
Octane
proof, high proof.
There was a real thing called Ripple.
Yeah, it's alcohol, right?
Yeah.
It's like high proof alcohol, like 100 and something proof.
Oh no, I don't want none of that. I can barely drink box wine.
Yeah, Ripple has a high proof.
So a lot has changed, Chuck.
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. You see, I said tough conversations, tough days, tough. But if we're living something that's tough, it means that we're tougher than we think, we're tougher than we know, and we're about to grow. See, there's a need to know when it's time to grow. And these things serve us to make us stronger. So, Chuck, I'm going to step off for a second. And I want you to just say hello. I do this all the day, all the time, so I'm not trying to buy some time. Although I'm glad I put this in years ago, where I step off the stage, and I say this to all of you. I say this every day. It's on the back of my business cards. I'm going to prove it because I got one sitting right here. Where is it? Hold on. Right here. It's on the back because I have it there to remind myself. And it says this: what will you do today that eases some form of suffering somewhere in this world? There it is, right on the back of my cards. That's the back? Yeah, that's the back. Right there. It's there. See it? What will you do? And so, Chuck, not just today, but every day, before what happened, and you're going to tell the folks why we're here, and what you're doing today that you hope serves and saves somebody from some type of something. Okay? So I'm going to step off, and you guys share this out, and we're going to put this I'm going to just get this running now. Just ticker tape. Just keep it going. And there's a GoFundMe, and Chuck's about to tell you why. You guys put some hearts on the screen. Here's a coffee cup. See you in a few weeks in Kansas City.
Yes, you will.
Oh, man, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Here's coffee cup. Chuck, he's got something to talk about.
What's good, people? Man, today is it's going to be a definite heartfelt interview. A lot of you who know me know that for the last couple of months, me and my wife and my family, we have been going through a lot of different changes, changes that nobody was prepared for, changes that no one really wants to have to witness or experience. June 13th of this year, my son, he made the ultimate sacrifice. I'm gonna just say that sacrifice, it involved his children and it involved his life. You see, my son was suffering from what they call schizophrenia. And not only was he suffering from schizophrenia, he was suffering from addiction from methamphetamines. Now, I know a lot of us out there, we have family members that are fighting certain fights. Some of us might be fighting addictions in other categories. Methamphetamines is one of those drugs that it's a very hard addiction to beat. And even though he was actually starting to grow in his life, he was really starting to make some advancements, he still had the addiction, and the addiction got the best of him. And like I said, it happened on a Saturday. And I just remember that Saturday so clear, y'all. I woke up that morning, and in the process of waking up, we had some stuff to do. We went to a mud run, and day started out wonderful. After the mud run, me and my wife, we came home. Like I said, normal day. I'm just trying to walk you guys through just to give you an understanding how life will change on you in a minute if you're not ready for it. We got home that day, and we literally cleaned the house. We spent all day cleaning the house. And at the end of that, we laid down to go to sleep. I remember finally laying down. It was just after midnight. And as soon as I laid down, not even 2 minutes after I laid down, I started getting a bunch of Facebook messages from St. Louis. It was too late to really answer those Facebook calls because my wife was asleep and it was just late. I was tired. But then I got a call from a very good sister of mine. It was my son's aunt. And I knew I had to answer that call, especially seeing that most of the calls were coming from her family on Facebook. And as soon as I answered the phone, I just knew it wasn't going to be a good night. She told me that my son ended his life. And
this is your only son?
It's my only biological son.
Only biological son.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it because at first, when she told me he was gone, the first thing I thought was maybe somebody took his life. But then the details started to play out. And whew,
I know. Take your time.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one. But
it is.
She said he ended his life. So that took the air out of me because, of course, guilt starts to hit you. But all of that started to wash away as soon as she told me that the kids were involved in it. And that's when I knew I had to, instead of slumping my shoulders, I had to pick my shoulders up because I knew that they were left behind. And I knew that right then and in that moment, they needed an advocate. They needed somebody to make sure that they would be okay. And I don't want to shine any negative light on their mother. But at the moment, she had witnessed something that I couldn't imagine a wife having to witness. She witnessed her husband take his life in front of her. And the crazy thing about that, y'all, is not only did he do that, he did it in a way where they couldn't even get out of the house. So I just want to paint the picture. The kids couldn't get out of the house. The cops didn't get there for an hour and a half. And during that time, the mom was so out of place that she couldn't even control and keep the kids in the room, the one and only room they had in the apartment. So the kids had to sit with the body. And I can't imagine, what they were going through in that moment. This happened on a Saturday, like I said. And Monday morning, me and my wife, we went down to the city where they lived, and we made sure we signed the kids up in therapy because we knew they were going to need therapy. And then in the process of doing all that, we literally had to survey the environment and the scene. And then it was in our best interest that we at least took the kids with us. It started out as being a short temporary thing. But after seeing the condition of the children, we decided that this is something that we really had to step in and get involved in. Now I'm 52. And I'm not going to tell you my wife's age because I don't want to get beat up at the end of the day, but we are grandparents. We have 11 grandkids. And just when you think that you're in a state of retirement, just when you think that you're in a state of freedom, God has another assignment for you, which takes me to the first thing that I want to really talk about, and that's preparing yourself for anything.
Yes. You good?
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't like sitting back there eating croissants or bonbons, although I do have some on deck. Look, this new era, they're like, no eating on the show.
Yeah.
Good luck with that today. Because I'm gonna just say this, Chuck. Let me butt in here. I have a coaching client. His name is Frank Ovine. He's out of New York City, and he's a retired NYPD homicide detective. And he had when he came to me for coaching, he couldn't give his suicide keynote away. Everybody's, oh, we know all we need to know about suicide. We got so many people want to talk about suicide. And he said, I can't get booked. I can't even get people to take it for free, let alone get paid to do it. So he was going to quit. So I said, well, wait. There must be something. We're not getting the right person's attention, which is the gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
So Frank, and here it comes. I said, Frank, how many suicide runs do you figure you did in your illustrious career with the NYPD? He goes, well over 1,000, Dr. Martin, well over 1,000. So that means Upper Manhattan all the way to the nearest alley and everything in between, from the tutor to the rooter, from the rooter to the tutor, from the outhouse to the White House, pretty much every place a human can occupy. He's been there, seriously. And I said, well, was there ever any one particular thing, Frank, that always made you scratch your head afterwards, like, there it is again? And again, it was always present somewhere on the scene. It was yes. Instantly, he knew what I was talking about. I said, what was it? He said, there's always someone sitting either on the curb, going like this, or like this somewhere. Or I said, and what do you think all that meant all those times? What was that one consistency? He goes, there was always that one person who said, I could have never seen this coming.
Yeah.
I had no way of knowing. And so we changed his keynote topic to a marquee title to get that gatekeeper, the one going through file after file, thinking don't nothing apply to them. And it said, how to ascertain if the potential for suicide is lurking somewhere around your divine circle of loved ones. Every head he put it in front of then called him. I ain't seen Frank since. Seriously, not on a session, because he's been that busy. And the reason I bring it up like that is because we think this is the sort of thing that always happens to someone else. Glad it wasn't us. You know, it's that same phenomenon. If you've ever been on a highway or a freeway, and you say, surely there's an accident up there, must be some fatalities slowing down traffic like this. But you get up there and it's a flat tire, because everyone had to look. Anybody dead? You know, people are attracted. That's why they stand across the street and look at things burn, because they're glad it's not them. So I want to ask you, even with the setups, you knew about the addiction, you knew, but did you ever think in a million years that you would be that person doing exactly what Frank said? Go ahead. Talk about that. Go ahead. I mean, did you ever? You did not.
No, I even talked to him. I talked to him Friday, the day before it happened. And me and my son, we had a rocky relationship. He had issues with boundaries. So I was trying to get him to understand that I had boundaries that he had to respect. So, but that Friday, man, he called me. He said, hey, Dad, man, you know, he tried calling me a couple of times. I was in a meeting. I texted him and told him, hey, I'll be out of the meeting in 30 minutes. I'll call you then. He texted me and said, I just need a hug, Dad. So I kind of rushed out my meeting.
Wow.
And I texted him, asked him where he was. He told me where he was. I met him, and we spent about an hour standing outside of a Quick Trip. And he just when I parked and got out, he said, "Sorry, Dad, I don't look the best." But to me, he looked like he was probably one of his best moments. And I gave him an embrace, like a real deep embrace. It was the first time I had seen him since he had just graduated from HVAC school.
And tell people what that means, because I'm not so white collar. Is that white collar? Blue collar?
No, HVAC,
air conditioning.
Yes, heating and air conditioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's a great career.
Oh yeah, it is. He just landed his first good job. Like I said, he was on the rise, and that's why people don't understand. You look for these problems and stuff in people when they're down and at their worst. You expect it to happen then, but then they start growing and they start understanding where they need to be. They start gaining purpose, and you kind of let it go and step back because you feel, hey, it's working. He's getting it. He's got it. He's got this covered. And boom, everything changes. So that day, he just basically apologized for everything that he had ever done to me wrong. I remember him asking me, he said, "Dad, I made a mistake." And I remember telling him, "Hey, son, the greatest people in the world right now are making mistakes. It's not the mistakes, it's what you do with the mistake and how you rebound from the mistake." But he did talk about gang stalking. He's talked about being followed. And then he changed the story up and said, "Dad, you're so positive. I don't want to hit you with this negative stuff. So I'm going to be positive." But one thing that struck me that day that gave me the most relief is he had told me that he had been following me and watching me. And the biggest reason why he had made it as far as he did in his successful part of his life was because he was watching and he was listening, he was observing. And that made me feel good because Coffee Cup Chuck continues to exist because, sometimes there's people that you want to reach that you can't see. And Coffee Cup Chuck has been able to actually reach people that you can't see with the messages. And that's why I feel that it brought me more satisfaction to hear the words come out of his mouth, because it made me feel like all those years that I wasn't the dad that he needed, that I had finally became the dad that he needed. So it really was a surprise to me the next day that, we had to get the call.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say, "Hey, that was his last call. He was giving you a hug because that was it." But I don't know if that was it, because we had plans after that. We were supposed to meet each other Monday for the gym, and we were supposed to go work out. And it was just one of those things where, it wasn't an ending. It didn't seem like an ending. And
do you think he knew?
I think he knew, and that's where I want to get into. At the beginning of the show, I made a comment and said he made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yes. Yep.
I want to spend a little time talking about that. Not a little, just a short, brief.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you have it for a second. I'll be back. And all this. And are you okay?
Yeah.
With the image I put up there.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely okay. 3 of those babies right now, the little smaller ones, are the ones that we're taking care of now. But the ultimate sacrifice came because pressure created a relapse, and he relapsed. And when he relapsed, he felt so bad because of his relapse that it kicked him back in his schizophrenia stage. And during the schizophrenia stage, I don't know if a lot of people understand what that is, but paranoia is, man, it's just something. And when you're messing with methamphetamines, that's one of the main reasons, people get paranoid. And he was so paranoid from himself because It was all in his head. And he really thought people were after him, y'all. And that's why it's important to understand what these drugs will do to you. He was battling with demons in his head, and the demons were telling him to end his life. And the demons were also telling him to end his children's life and his wife's life. And the day this thing happened, there were 2 shots that went off. One shot was pointed away from him, and the other shot was the infliction that took his life, which tells a lot of us, especially after several conversations that he had over the past year, that he fought off killing his family and made the sacrifice to kill himself. Because if he wouldn't have did it to himself, he probably would have ended up harming everybody else. And I don't think I would have been able to bury that many people, especially people that have my DNA. So I applaud him today. You know, we're not perfect. We make mistakes.
Yeah, we do.
And sometimes when we make those mistakes, we have to step up and we got to do something about it before it gets way out of hand. And I think he saved face and saved his children. So
I want to
because
say,
of that,
I'm sorry, Chuck.
because of that, man, we're going to save his children.
Yeah. Well,
And that's why we stepped in.
yeah. And people think that's so easy to do. Well, of course you did. That's what you're supposed to do. No. None of it is easy. None of it.
It's not.
I
Because
want to say
these kids, man, they're way behind, man. They're way behind. I mean, you know, we're literally, we got triplets. We got triplets overnight. And they had, we had the D-Pro in 2.5 months, me and my wife. And I got to just take a moment to say, man, my wife is amazing. You know what I'm saying? She's amazing. She doesn't share the DNA of these children, but she does. She does, because she stepped up to the plate and she's just ran with it. And she's running, even though it's frustrating. I mean, this thing is so frustrating. We argue off and on. In the beginning of this, man, people think and see the easy part of it. They don't see the restructure. They don't see
your life is never going to be the same.
No. And,
ever again.
And we're older. We're older. We're thinking we're entering into an environment of our life where we're freer now. And now we're behind our children. We're behind our own children. And it's like, the biggest joy I get out of this is the change I made in my own life, brother.
Like what, for instance?
So the first half of my life, I wasn't there. I wasn't there for my son's life. I was a gangbanger. I was a drug dealer. You know, I was just out there in the streets. I didn't care about nobody else except myself.
Let me ask you right there. Has it crossed your mind, Chuck? Because you're talking about DNA, and this is for someone out there. Talking about DNA, your only biological son. In case that people that share my DNA, and then you see that you've left that you walked that road. I'm keeping it real because I know you've thought about this. Just because we go past the season of our life doesn't mean the seeds that we planted in that season haven't grown into oaks. So we think about it. And did it cross your mind at any point that you think, I wonder if any drug I sold planted the same seed in someone else's yard for their son or their daughter? When I was, did it pull you back to the proverbial scene of the crime? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, it did, man.
Talk about that. How? Because that's a real thing.
Yeah, it is, man.
People think just because you got a hat on that says, and you got this moniker, and you speak on stages all over the world, this and the other, that he's beyond that. Are we ever? No. Because trauma is the moment that you are literally, I believe, marked by the creation for future greatness in this world.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Okay, so it can feel like, but it can oftentimes feel like, you know, when you think you're past something and you look down, it's like, how long I've been walking around with this piece of toilet paper stuck on my foot? You know, we don't see people walking with a piece of toilet paper way behind them in the airport. So you're like, hee. or a woman driving down the street with a dress caught in the door. You know, you look at her drive, don't even know her dress. Right. You go, hee show, it's funny. But sometimes it's like that. The things we've left behind, we've grown beyond. But then things like this happen that take us back there and make us really soul search. Talk about that if you could.
So first half of my life, brother, man, I wasn't in my son's life the way I should have been. I had made a lot of mistakes. I was in and out of jail. I didn't get to see him walk in kindergarten. I didn't get to see him walk in no grade because I wasn't there.
Aren't you taking one of the kids to like pre-K today?
Yep, I got to get off this call here in about 30 minutes because I have to be there to make sure his pawpaw and his nana introduces him to his teachers.
Now, which one is that in this? Tell them, introduce those children. It's the three little ones.
Yep.
And give us their names. Who's in your arms?
So Gabriel is the one that I'm taking to school today. I dropped Aaron, the two little ones, in front of their daddy, and between their daddy and their bigger brother. Abby started school today too. So I walked her into her school today and had breakfast with Aaron, who's standing next to Abby, and Abby. And like I said, this afternoon, we have to walk Gabe in for his first day of school.
Now, what are they in? Kindergarten?
We got a pre-K, a kindergarten, and a first grader.
And a first,
Yep, and then the bigger one is Cameron. That's my son's firstborn. Which in this whole incident, man, he's literally stepped up to be the biggest brother, man, even though, you know, there was some conflict between him and his daddy, because of course, you know, like any younger kid, they want to understand why, you know, dad is not around. And just seeing that he went through what he went through and the resentment he had because he didn't really have the dad he didn't have his dad the way he wanted to have his dad. Mm-hmm. It's just an eye-opening blessing to see how he stepped up to understand that those kids need a bigger brother. And I don't know if anyone knows, but like I said, these kids witnessed this. This happened in the same room. This was a one-bedroom apartment. And when he did it in front of the doorway. So no one could even exit the house after it happened. Mm-hmm. So they were trapped in the house for an hour and a half. And those kids, we don't know. We're still trying to figure out right now the trauma that they're going through. But Cameron, he stepped up, man. He's been the best big brother. So, but schizophrenia is real. It's real, man.
And I might add, right? It was 2 weeks before COVID. My brother-in-law, Joe, took his life from, and I interviewed a guy on the show, an attorney from the Johnny Cochran firm. You guys might remember that, about the suicide disease, where people who they hurt themselves. Let me take that one down. They hurt themselves. You can put that one back in, Shaquille. Because he had severe back surgeries over the years from the accidents. And he would keep a little baby food jar with all the screws they took out and replaced with different screws. And but he said, it hasn't relieved the pain. I can't take it. And he'd sit in the living room on Sunday Fun Day, which our family. And I said, where's Joe? He's in the living room, got that baby food jar with all of them. Don't go in there because he's going to sit you down and talk about how they done messed him up. And then I heard the final voicemail he left his namesake, Joe Jr. And the thing in his voice where he was saying, make sure you have him do an autopsy. I wasn't making this up. It feels like someone is literally cutting me in half from the inside. It feels like the saw is fire. It was just horrible. His voice was quivering. I'll never forget it. And that was the defining moment, Coffee Cup Chuck, where I said, you know what? I don't care if it's somebody walking down the street saying, look, there's a little fairy angels in the, and they sit and twirl and then, you know, look at the old crazy so. No. If something is real to a person, then that makes it real, period.
Yeah. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Just because you can't see it. You can't see air, but you don't think it's real.
Yeah.
You don't see God, but you say it's first in your life. You don't think it's real?
No. That's crazy.
That's right. If something is real to someone else, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And it
real.
was real to him. It was real to him. I remember, you know, it was one conversation that I had with one of his family members that told me that they were on a phone call. He called him one day and they had to really calm him down, and they were able to calm him down. But he just wanted to end his life, and he didn't want his kids to be in this world without him. So, you know, the talk was like he was going to take them with him. He didn't want to leave him here by himself. So there was talk of it. And like I said, in his reality, in his world, there were people after him. And there were people, and this was years, man. I deleted his Facebook account. I stopped following him off of Facebook because of my blood pressure. My doctor said, whatever is raising your blood pressure, you got to stop or you're going to die. And because I didn't want to die of high blood pressure, the first thing I did was stop following him on all of his social medias, because there were times when he would go live on Facebook and it would be one of his relapse moments. And, you know, everyone's watching and they're calling saying, you see your son, man. And it's like, you can't do anything about it because they're grown and they have to seek the help. And it's just so crazy. There were moments where, you know, I had to literally stay on the phone with him all day while he journeyed across a city on his way to therapy to treatment, because he needed treatment, because they were after him. And so, like I said, schizophrenia is real. I talked with a friend of mine yesterday about, you know, what happened, and his brother right now is on methamphetamines, and he says the same thing. You know, his brother he is ruined, and schizophrenia will never 100% go away. Now, you can help yourself. There's ways to get around it, but I just want people to understand that if you got family members out there that are on drugs, especially methamphetamines, if you got people out there, you can't turn a blind eye to what they're saying, because what they're saying is they need help. They're saying, I'm struggling. I don't know what's real and what's not. I need somebody who at least knows what's actually real to help me through this. And I think I kind of dropped the ball on that, because I didn't really realize how serious it was until it was too late. So now I can't
So
let
late.
yeah.
So late.
And that's why I say, man, I'm an advocate now, not just for these kids, but for his name. I can't let his name go in vain because, you know, he's not here no more and because of his mistakes. I want to turn his mistakes into somebody else's triumph.
They were missteps.
Yes, missteps.
You know, it's not, I tell you, I've heard it. We don't make mistakes, they say. Anything and everything we do, it is to keep your journey and your shit interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to have an impact on the world 1,000 years from now, if they are going to be interested, then what they're feeling because of what you did today must be interesting today.
Yeah.
Or will not last the test of time. Now, when you also said too late, y'all, listen up. Don't let that I call that word the John Wayne Gacy of dreams and legacy. And here's why. We live within a world of promises, a canopy, if you will, umbrellas of promise. When people are talking all manner of evil against you or whatever, speaking really curses over themselves, but they have our names attached to it. If you stay within the promise, no weapon formed against you will prosper, but it says nothing about weapons that you take from them, fashion them into one that you hand back and say, now use this against me. We cannot break principles, but we can find ourselves broken against them. So I implore you, start with these words that deceive. There are thousands of them. It's not weird. It's weirdly wonderful. It's not strange. It's strangely interesting. It's not crazy. It's crazy mystical. Put something behind it to change the legacy that someone has put in front of it. You see what I'm saying? Now, the next time you say, well, it's just so crazy. How you know? They didn't have a mentally ill person just like your son do the same thing just 2 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 2 decades ago. it's still real. Why? Because the truth is the only thing, y'all, in this universe that never changes.
Mm-hmm.
Will never change on us. So the purpose, the reason behind anything that happens that's truthful, it will stand beside you all the way through. I tell little ones just like that. If I were to get in front of them, I'd get down on one knee and I'd tell them, come here, little ones. I know it hurts right now, but trust me. The moment trauma touches you, you have officially been marked by this creation for your moment for future greatness. And it's real. Now, I'm telling you, because this photo, I'm assuming, was taken prior to.
No.
This is
No.
after?
This is after a month of them living with us.
Okay, let me ask you something. When you look at those smiles, those expressions, their eyes, how the light that's behind our eyes, that's within our eyes, do you get up and how important is it to you and your wife? I know you can't speak for her, she's not here. But how important is it to you, Coffee Cup, Chuck, that you protect them from things that could lessen those smiles, steal their joy? See, don't say to anything, say so. It's so hard. This is so difficult. You know, I'm getting so old. Ooh, don't say to. Leave to at the end of a sentence where it will be inclusive. I know it looks like a lot, Coffee Cup Chuck, but I have a friend who did it, and you can do it too.
Oh, I'm going to do it because guess what?
TOO.
Yeah,
The moment
I'm going
say
to do it.
it is too much. It's too heavy. This is too dark.
Yeah.
Oof. Something in our world will disappear because we have a promise that tells us they will never be given more than you can handle. So it's not two, it's so. So,
Yeah.
what when you
No, let me get. I just look.
and how Coffee Cup? How soon after? It's less than a month or a little over a month.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, that's kids. They're so resilient." They're
Yeah.
so resilient. But you know what? That's an example. Those are superheroes. You see what I mean? They can take a licking and still keep on ticking. There are
Mm-hmm.
many of us today who walk around and complain because, you know, we can't get our toes done today. You know, that woman over there ran into that parking spot when she saw me putting my signal on to take it. And then we have these babies counting it all joy for now. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe, what do you say to them? Do they ask questions?
Oh,
What do you-
yeah. They ask questions. So me and my wife, we have open conversations with them. We have their father on their refrigerator, a huge picture of their father on the refrigerator downstairs. So every time they go out to the pool or go out back to play, they can see their daddy. And, you know, we talk with them like, do you trust us? And they say, yeah. And, you know, we tell them that's when we, you know, we'll approach them with something like, okay, so we're going to need you to do this. And this is why. So we're talking to them. They understand what's going on. We know the two younger girls that were involved in the situation. They probably witnessed what happened. The two boys, they just heard the bang. They didn't actually see it, but they seen the after effects. So there is issues that we have to really look into with the girls, but we talked to them openly about everything. The girl has come to me and said, you know, Daddy killed himself, and
how old?
and she's 5.
Now, see,
So,
they're getting prepared because, you know, children can be really tough on children.
yeah.
And I know, foster care now, but I
But
want
they
to say
see
this.
strength, though, brother. Strength is what they need. Strength, and you see those smiles, and people don't understand. where they come from after seeing something like they've witnessed, and it's because they have structure. They know they're safe, and they trust the environment they're in because they see the structure. They wake up every day and they have food on the table. They have something to do in the AM and the PM. They're laid down at the same time every night. They have structure. So now they know what's going to happen day to day. And that's what children really need. They need this. And that's one of the reasons why we stepped in, because we started realizing that they really probably didn't have that structure. So even though things look like they're going well inside of households, when you enter into the mix of things, you start realizing that there's a lot of issues. So we literally had to deprogram these kids, brother, and reprogram them, like potty training and food. They won't eat.
And there'll be more.
Yeah, they won't eat. We literally have to fight to get them to eat healthy because they probably couldn't afford the good stuff. And I'm not placing blame on anyone. Sometimes you're able and sometimes you're just not able. And it's okay to just not be able. And that's why their mother, yeah. And that's why I want to give, I want to at least take my hat off to the mother. And the reason why, I know a lot of people look at the mother in a different light, but I look at the mother in a light because even though she knows she can't do it, it's hard to give your children up to because what is everyone going to think about me? And I think that's what she's going through right now, because we do have the kids. But I have to take my hat off to her, because instead of letting them continue to go through what they were going through, she at least has an understanding that it's best for them to be where they are right now.
And they're back to the word from the beginning of the show, sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Well, I'm a veteran. People always say, oh, thank you for your service. When I think they should tell veterans, and we should tell, because these children are veterans now.
Yeah.
They've been through a war of their own.
Yeah.
We want to thank them for their sacrifice. Okay. Now, before we start to wrap, I know you got to get the little one to his pre-K.
Yeah.
Tell us about what we see scrolling, and has been scrolling the entire broadcast. There is a GoFundMe link. Okay. There's a site, and I'm imploring all of you. We're going to keep this on our homepage of our website to help raise funds to get them off to the best start they can have. And I say they, I mean, not just the children, but the entire family collective. Okay, we don't know down the road that they're going to need, so don't assume. If you have a dish in your bedroom or in your bathroom or in your kitchen that you collect change on, if you have a sparkless water container and you throw coins in there, don't go to the Coin Star next time. Go to the North Star and be guided, and make sure that you have written this GoFundMe down. It will be up indefinitely. We want you to get over. When people are looking for something to do, I think I'm going to buy someone's coffee today. Hey, can I ask you to do something that reaches even deeper? Well, what would that be? And then you give them this. You don't know what you can do. That one time that you send someone to this link, they might inherit more than they could have ever dreamed in the way of disposable anything. They might have a car sitting somewhere that they can liquidate. You know what? I'm going to just sell that old car and give these kids something to ride in themselves. Okay? So I just want people, so many of us underestimate our own power to heal, because we're powerless in many things because we're still healing ourselves. Take that, the things that you're still carrying 30, 40, 50 years later, and say, you know what? I don't want that for one of them. I don't want that for any of them. There are many ways to approach it. Just don't turn away. Don't glance at it. Stare at it. Stare at the children. Don't stare at the trauma. Okay? So, Coffee Cup, how long has the fund been up? Are people starting to help?
Yeah, so we put the GoFundMe, we created it as soon as the incident happened, because like I said, it was something that no one was really prepared for.
Sure.
And then we knew we had to take the children. And it would be a lot of financial struggles with taking the children. And like I said, we had to bury them, and it was just so much in such a short period of time. And I have an amazing community, Becoming a Better You, the ACA. I had so many of my family members. A lot of people really stepped up. Brenda Ringwood, she really,
Yeah.
man, she stepped up so big time, bro. I'm like, you know,
Really?
her daughter Jess, what's good, Jess? Man, you know, she prepared my son's body. You know,
Wow.
she prepared my son's body. Her son picked him up from the morgue. I mean, her husband picked him up from the morgue, transferred him over to the funeral home. They prepared his body, minimal cost to the funeral. I mean, they gave me so many, they just made it so easy. And
They
Brenda
bless you.
did the eulogy. Yeah, I just, so community is important. Becoming a better you.
That part.
ACA, they even started a food train for us. So the GoFundMe, we raised enough to bury him and to get the kids off to a small light start. People donated clothes and other artifacts and items and stuff that we could use. We had friends, the Moranos. They man, so many people. There's so many names that I can name.
We be here. Yeah.
GoFundMe, yeah, it's been up for a little bit, but I just want everybody to know that me and my wife, we were surviving on our own. We were doing great for ourselves. We had our savings. We had money in our savings, and you know, life was looking good. We were literally climbing. And when this hit, it kind of like, you know, it hits you. If you're not used to feeding 3 extra people at night, you know, we were used to going out all the time and
Yeah.
eating. It was just cheaper and time. We got so much going on in our lives that it was the timing. So GoFundMe really helped out because the kids needed it. You know, like I said, this is more about the children. This ain't about me. I can deal with it on my own. But these children, you know, they can't really deal with it. So this GoFundMe is not about me and my wife. It's about them.
And I want to say something at this point. You all don't assume, you know, 22 homes in foster care. That's me. But it breaks my heart to a level I never even knew was possible. It's that thing that they say goes beyond human comprehension. When I see children inside their own DNA pool living worse than we did with strangers, and I say that's worse. It's like they're in care when they shouldn't and don't have to be. So ringing the bell of purpose, because you're doing what you're doing on purpose and with purpose. And again, because Chuck's got to get one of them to pre-K here in just a few minutes, and you all have things to get to too, and we want to honor your time. We want to thank you, and again, apologies, hopefully accepted, because we were running a little late. But like I said, when the ball seems to be dropped, don't get mad at people. Get mad at the dark energy that is trying to get you off track from due north. There are only 2 lanes in this journey. They have the same letter of numbers. The same letter of numbers. See how they try to move? Look at that. Dyslexia in the making. I don't claim that. They have the same letters, the same number of letters. Sacred or scared. As you drive down the road of life, make sure that you're constantly checking that the orders of the letters are the same. If it says SCARED, get into the other lane where it is SCARE. I'm telling you. That's right. That's right. Those tricky monkeys here. No, we will see. No, we will see them little tricky monkeys. Yeah, they will switch them to make you think what you're looking at on the screen is something bad. No. God makes everything. And I do mean everything. Not make nonsense. That's no sense. They don't make no sense. That's nonsense. Not even common sense. Well, that's just common sense. How come you ain't doing it? It makes perfect sense. That is from the greatness. That is from creation.
Well said.
God, it makes perfect sense. That's the power of 3. 1, 2, 3. And as we get out of here, I want to thank you all for being here today and for making this a better day for someone else by sharing this story. We never know when someone might be sharing our story. So what you do today very well could be in the making of being done to you. So don't you want it to be in the way of service, healing, and help? So keep that. Write it down. Keep it in your phone or someplace where you can get to it. Keep it within reach. Don't let this GoFundMe link get dusty. And let's change their lives, starting with these 3 young people. Coffee Cup, thank you so much. I can look forward to seeing you next month, isn't it?
Yes, next month.
Yeah, next month.
I got an interview. I got a speech this in 2 weeks. It's the 29th and the 30th of this month. And then next month, we have another one. So we have a Felon of Fabulous conference. BTBY is throwing a Felon of Fabulous conference. Go to comechangeyourlife.com if you want to get into that.
Is that in 2 weeks?
Yep, it's in the 29th and the 30th this month.
Why
It's the first of its kind.
Okay.
It's the first of its kind.
And that's
and before we go, I just want to say this, man, since we brought that up, and since I will be speaking in that, a lot of people don't understand that the things that they're going through in their lives, they have to fight through it. They have to overcome the things that they're going through that might be holding them back. Not sometimes always for them, but sometimes for somebody who's going to need you in the future. I am so grateful to God that he stayed with me through my life and helped me change and become the person that I've become. Because if I did not do that, people, listen to me when I say this, if I did not do that, I wouldn't be strong enough to help my 3 grandbabies out today. So remember that. It is so important that you work on your life so hard today to prepare yourself for somebody who will need you tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. And listen, before you go speeding down the road past these hitchhikers known as people in need, you might want to take another look. If you back up and you really look closely, you might see that one or more of them is literally wearing your face. Think about that. You guys get out of here. Have the best weekend possible. And remember, when someone says good morning, no. When people say, how you doing? Don't you dare say good. We don't do good. We do great. There's no place to go from good. What you gonna do? Gooda? What are they gonna say when you get to glory? Here comes one of our goodest. No, great to greater, great to greater, great to greater. And one day, walking down that driveway to your mansion, they're gonna look out the window and they say, here's look who it is. Here comes Chuck Doyle. Here comes you. Here comes one of our greatest. Take that with you and have a divine everything. I'm Dr. Lauren. I'll see you next time on our next installment of Bathroom Moments. Chuck, thank you so much. Thank you. That was hard for me, so I can't even imagine what it is, but you keep going. You keep growing and keep showing others how to make it work.
We got this.
You guys write that down. It'll be in the show notes. It'll be all over our social media. Get out and donate today. You'll be glad you did. Blessings, everybody. Have the best day ever. Bye, Chuck. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Shaquille.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How explicit do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine.
I want to just come back in one last time. Get rid of that. Chuck's gone. Just to get the little one. Thank you all. I'm thanking you all in advance. Anybody that's still watching, for all you do. Have the best one.